Hi everyone, and welcome to Robo.talks, quarterly update from Robocash. My name is Grigory Shakunov. I'm CFO of Robocash Group, and in the coming 10 to 15 minutes, I will cover key developments in Q1 and answer your questions. Let's get started. So, as a platform, we continued to expand Robocash business in Q1. Our user base has increased by 2,000 investors, and total interest earned by investors reached 1.3 million euros. Congratulations to all involved. In Q1, we added platinum level to our loyalty program, which adds a bonus of 1.3% to the basic interest rate for investors with a total portfolio balance of over euro 50,000. Our new loan originator from Sri Lanka was launched in Q1 and was unfortunately put on hold due to a political crisis in the country. And we have transferred all bank transactions to a new payment provider, the company named 3S Money. And with that, we increased monthly investment limit for our investors to 25,000 a month. We also completed audit of 2021 financial statements, and the results are in line with management estimates that we have shared in the previous issue of Robo.talks. So in 2021, we have expanded our business aggressively, which led to overachievement in terms of issued loans and revenue, but this rapid expansion put pressure on profits in the short term. So, we continued our expansion in Q1 of 2022 as we see positive product economics and ample market opportunities in all our business units. And just to give you the feeling of the pace of expansion, we increased our issuance by more than 80% to $266 million worth of loans. And another achievement is in Kazakhstan, where we enjoyed a quarterly growth of 27%. You do not meet such rapid growth too often. So, and now to your questions and answers. What is Robocash doing for the new European agreement required in November for all crowdfunding and crowd lending participants? So it's a question of regulation once again. Okay, we are constantly monitoring the regulatory landscape. However, as of today, there is no applicable peer-to-peer lending licensing framework for us. And regarding crowdfunding license, please note that the Robocash platform is a peer-to-peer lending platform, not a crowdfunding platform. And the essential difference between the two is that we do not offer equity investments, but we pay interest on the funds invested in claim rights on loans issued by Robocash. So that's a big difference. When will the application be available on Android and iOS? Well, we do not plan to release mobile application in the near future. We do, however, plan to redesign the investor's personal account and adapt the website appearance to mobile browsing. Robocash is one of the best platforms. Oh, thank you. Why and when will you be regulated? The short answer is as soon as applicable regulatory framework emerges. We support the idea of regulation of peer-to-peer investments because, first, this will increase investors' trust in the industry, and second, this will give an advantage to reliable and compliant players. We do our best to be such a player, and we are really looking forward to exploiting such advantage. And speaking of the industry, now let's be honest, peer-to-peer investments are an underdog among financial instruments. And we, as an industry, pay a risk premium compared to more regulated instruments precisely because of lack of regulation in the peer-to-peer investments. And As soon as this changes, as the industry, the peer-to-peer lending become more regulated, the adoption of peer-to-peer investments will increase and will increase substantially. And this is also a welcome development for us because, well, being a leading player on a rapidly growing market is a very favorable position. How much total and short-term debt does Robocash have? Well, speaking about the platform, at the moment, 20% of investors' funds are in short-term loans with maturity up to 60 days. The remaining funds are in loans with maturity up to 3 years, and just 12% of invested funds are in long-term loans with maturity of 1 year or more. Are the numbers in quarterly results confirmed by an independent auditor? Well, no, not quarterly results per se. We submit half-year and full-year financial reports for independent audit by Grant Thornton, but we present quarterly reports based on management accounts, and management accounts are prepared on the same basis and using the same procedures as the audited financial statements. And it turns out that the two show quite similar numbers. So you may be rest assured that the numbers we show in quarterly webinars are quite reliable. Will we be in position to invest directly to Robocash? Other competitors are raising capital by participating in equity crowdfunding platforms. Well, no, Robocash Group has no plans to raise capital through crowdfunding in the foreseeable future. And we do not plan to offer equity instruments on Robocash platform. What is the default and recovery rate in 2022? Well, we measure default rate as a share of loans not repaid after 90 days past due date. As of December 2021, this is the latest available mature loans with 90 days past. The default rate was 12.9%. And at the beginning of May, an average recovery rate was around 15.2%. Both numbers are in line with our business model and historical trends. What is the delayed rate in 2022? At the group level, the average share of overdue loans at the beginning of 2022 was 13.1%, and for the platform, the share of such loans was 12.1%. So as you see, we protect our investors from unnecessary risk. What part of the group guarantees the group guarantee? All of the group, only originators offering loans on the platform, or some other? All the loans on our platform are guaranteed by all the group. The group guarantees obligations of its loan originators via direct participation in capital. As a group, we have total control over our loan originators, and we have ample capital and sufficient cash to cover our obligations to investors. And we have audited financial statements to confirm that. What has been the net profit loss and the cash flow of the part of the company that guarantees the group guarantee in 2022? Again, the loan on the platform are guaranteed by all the group. And in the first quarter of 2022, the group net profit was $1.5 million, and the cash flow was minus $11.5 million, as we continued our aggressive expansion using extra cash accumulated by end of 2021. I would like to ask about how Robocash is preparing concerning a potential food and economic crisis in developing countries, which could have an impact on the Robocash portfolio. Well, unfortunately, economic crisis and food shortages in developing countries are indeed possible in 2022 and 2023. As a group, we do evaluate negative scenarios for countries where we operate, and we plan ways to safeguard our assets. However, we do not consider these risks immediate, and they do not affect our current operations. So I believe this was it for the questions that we have received in advance. Now let's look if there are any questions received during this transmission. And it appears that there are no questions. Then thank you for your attention. Have a nice investing and see you next quarter. Bye.